How amazing was that?
Think I try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now.
Yo!
It's time that you made your mind up.
We found the wild ducks.
Lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking. Going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time. And I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now.
After an extremely wild, adventurous and productive 4 days in Khwai, Cathan and I headed back to Maun to restock. We spent the night at Island Safari Lodge, where we went for a much needed run, ate in a restaurant for once, and slept on comfy beds. After picking up our camping fridge from the frozen donkey the following morning, we filled up our jerry cans and bought groceries for the next leg of the journey. It was time to head back north again on that terribly corrugated road. But this time, we turned left at the split, towards Moremi. We entered the park at Southgate around midday, but still had a long drive left to get to our first campsite in Moremi, Kakanaka.
Sure, that was a beautiful drive, albeit very hot, from Southgate to Kakanaka entrance gate. This area around the campsite is so beautiful. Lovely tall mupani trees, white sand, and on the GPS we can see we're very close to water. Let's go check in.
We bought some firewood at reception and then headed to where we set up our base at what must be the most beautiful campsite in all of Moremi, Kakanaka stand number 8. With a bit of daylight to spare, we went for a short game drive and found this relaxed elephant pool close to camp. Just before sunset, we had reached Paradise Pools, an area we would fall in love with over the coming days.
Like most nights on this trip, we heard lions roaring all through the night, and when we left camp this morning, we found their tracks very, very early. We found tracks for 2 different females and what looked like 2 massive males as well, but we haven't been able to find them yet. But we're not complaining, because we've come to a place that we found yesterday afternoon to the east of camp called Paradise Pools. And the name says it all. This is probably the most beautiful place we've seen on this whole trip. And we've seen some pretty places. There's water everywhere, stunning massive trees, a lot of them dead, and plenty of ledge where to photograph as well in just stunning light. There's also plenty of water birds around, things like egrets, storks, and some spoonbills fishing in the shallows. Man, I can't tell you how beautiful it is. It's unbelievable. We've been driving around the Paradise Pools now a couple of times, and there are lion tracks literally everywhere. And what's quite cool here is the sand is so fine and soft. You can see the tracks so clearly. It's quite beautiful, but it goes in every different direction. And what you have to remember about these lions in the Delta, they're swamp cats. So it doesn't mean the fact that they came to the water that they just drank and then went back where they came from. They could literally wade right through and disappear into the reeds. So finding a little bit tricky to connect with them this morning, but man, it's exciting.
With the lions nowhere to be found, we decided to explore a little bit. We drove through tall Mupani woodlands, past stunning natural pans, all the way to the floodplains on the other side of camp.
Cathan and I have had such an exciting morning exploring the seasonal tracks to the west or the southwest of Kakanaka after spending some time this morning at Paradise Pools. We thought all of this was going to be completely flooded, but in fact it's bone dry. We've actually struggled to find big pools of water. We've just heard about a leopard that was sighted close by. We do see a vehicle parked here in front, so let's see, maybe we finally see our first leopard of the trip.
All we got was a glimpse. Who knew it would be so tough to find leopards on this trip? Luckily for us, we still had 2 days in Mashatu coming up.
Wow, that was a very special first, not even 24 hours here at Kakanaka. We had such a great time exploring the roads around camp, and I must say our campsite overlooking this marsh is so beautiful. We even have a big termite mound that gives us a little bit of elevation to look a little bit deeper into the swamps themselves. Last night there were not only hippos calling next to the tent, but munching away at grass, and I could hear them defecating just behind my tent. They do that spray with their tail. Whew, very exciting. And lions were roaring in all different directions. Even though we couldn't catch up with them this morning, it was very exciting seeing their tracks. I'm out of breath because it's washing day. Heading over here to the ablution block, gonna wash some clothes, and hopefully it's gonna get me through to the end of the trip. Now, speaking of which, this is our second to last leg of this journey. Those of you that have been following along will know that we've been to Kupu Island, to Savuti, to Khwai, and now we've got this week here in Moremi at Kakanaka and Third Bridge before we head down to Mashatu. Hi. I've got nothing for you, I promise. It's so funny. I just sat here reading when this family of warthogs decided to come and say hi, and they're just sniffing the campsite. I don't know whether they're looking for food or whether they like the short grass that the hippo mows every night, but they're not leaving anytime soon.
Warthogs weren't our only neighbors. Shortly after Cathan went for a pee on the first night, a hippo grazed his way right through our campsite, reminding us never to leave our tents without a strong light. What a privilege to camp in the wilderness like this.
That was a super chill day in camp, and I think we've both decided that this is our favorite camp of the whole trip so far. We actually spotted some leopard tracks earlier in camp. It walked right past my tent throughout the night. Unfortunately, the trail camera didn't capture it, but we've set out a little bit earlier this afternoon to see whether we can find it resting in one of these thousands and thousands of big trees close to camp. So we're heading towards the Paradise Pools where we were this morning, but just taking it very, very slowly.
Unfortunately, we didn't find our leopard, but Paradise Pools was fast becoming our new favorite place.
I said it this morning and I'll say it again, this place is paradise. We're back at Paradise Pools and we've just watched the most beautiful elephant sighting ever, with the setting sun behind, and the whole herd is walking right behind our vehicle now. How amazing was that? Cathan and I left camp at 6 o'clock this morning to get to the Paradise Pools nice and early to give ourselves a chance to find those lions. We only found tracks, so we decided to turn around and come back to this area where we had the glimpse of the leopards yesterday. It's called Hamakop Pools and Maya Pools, and it's still around 7 o'clock in the morning, nice and early, good light, so it really does feel like we're giving ourselves a chance. We've literally just come into this area and we already have fresh leopard tracks. And it looks like they're going up and down, so I think we're very close. I was just saying to Cathan, this is like living the dream. It's such a cool place to look for leopards. We're used to looking for them in the thickets of the Lowveld in South Africa, and here we are on the edge, or pretty much inside the Okavango Delta, looking for leopards with swamps next to us and big termite mounds, and it's nice and open. And not only did we have a glimpse of one here yesterday, there's plenty of fresh tracks this morning, so we know they're around. Just testing our skills to see whether or not we can find them on our own. We came across a very friendly guide from a company called Leopard Safaris. He's been the friendliest of all the open safari vehicle guides that we've come across. And he actually said to us that some of his colleagues, or at least some people he's in radio contact with, found a leopard close by. So we've come to that point. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other vehicles here. All we can see is a herd of impala feeding in a relatively dense area, and quite a few sort of mopani trees around. No sign of the leopard yet, but I'm guessing it's busy stalking the impalas. Let's see whether we get lucky.
The impalas must have spotted the leopard, because all of a sudden they all bolted away. Again, luck was not on our side, but we had a fabulous time at Kakanaka. It was, however, time to head to Third Bridge.
Oh boy, Fourth Bridge is broken, and we've been told you've got to take a little detour. We're close to it now, and we can already see a guy in a self-drive vehicle stuck. Luckily there's an open vehicle, one of the lodges there. Hopefully they can help them out. We are taking a little detour now. Let's see what it looks like.
The lodge vehicle had indeed pulled them out, and because they were understandably a little bit nervous, we offered to drive through first. Just look how deceiving these crossings can be. You can't blame them for having tried the left-hand side, which is so much narrower than the right. Fortunately, Third Bridge was crossable, but I won't lie, it still felt a little bit sketchy to cross in certain places.
We've just arrived here at Third Bridge, and I must say throughout this trip the campsite gods really have been smiling on us, because we had that lovely campsite number 10 in Savuti, the wild campsite in Magoto, and then this campsite number 8 at Kakanaka. The last 3 nights was one of the most beautiful ones that I've ever camped at. So I was a little bit worried, what are the chances that our luck will continue for our time here at Third Bridge as well. And I tell you what, we lucked out again. Campsite number 7, the one that we're standing on, is close enough to the bathrooms but still nice and private. It's got a beautiful view, and then this lovely big sausage tree for shade. So tell you what, we've been super lucky, and I can't wait for us to spend the next 3 days here. We're out on our first afternoon game drive here from Third Bridge, and we heard rumors of a pack of wild dogs that were spotted near Second Bridge. So that's where we're heading now. And boy, there are some very thick, sandy, bumpy bits, but also some beautiful open areas with lovely big pans in between. We still have our fingers crossed for those lovely wattled cranes that we haven't seen yet. But as I say that, we're coming up to 2 or 3 more pans, and I think those are going to be the areas that they frequent. So we'll keep our eyes open as we head further south to where the dogs were seen earlier today. And I believe some lions actually stole a kill from them as well. So things are looking good for Third Bridge. We've come all the way past First Bridge because we saw some open safari vehicles rushing this way. I don't really like following them, but since it's an exploratory trip this afternoon and we're really desperate actually to find some predators, we followed them and they all stopped here in the front. So the next clip you see will be the answer to what it is. Hopefully. Well, that is a nice surprise. It wasn't lions, it wasn't wild dogs, which are the two species we were told about earlier. It's two beautiful cheetah brothers lying in golden light on a low mound. Sure, Moremi magic.
Because we were very far from camp, we had to leave the Cheetah brothers before sunset. But as we got closer to Third Bridge, we stopped next to one of the pans to watch the light fade. What a great first game drive.
It's been an absolutely amazing start to our first morning here at Third Bridge. We left bright and early at 6 o'clock, sat by a pan for a little while just to listen out for lions. Couldn't hear anything, so we headed back in the direction that we went yesterday afternoon towards Second and First Bridge. First we came across 6 spotted hyenas in the road, and our second sighting are the two cheetah brothers. Wow, what an incredible morning spent with those two cheetah brothers. I can't tell you how impressed I am with Third Bridge. And I'm not just talking about the game viewing. I'm talking about the campsite itself as well. Remember, Cathan and I have now been traveling for about 2.5 weeks, and we've stayed in a number of different campsites, and some of them have been really rough. And I'm talking specifically about the ablution facilities. If you look at this block behind me, it looks identical to the ones that we had at Savuti, run by SKL, and at Kakanaka, run by Kwalate Safaris. And those ones were really in a very bad nick. No hot water. At Savuti, there was a generator running the whole time. At Kakanaka, it was literally falling to pieces. Whereas here at Third Bridge, everything works. We've got hot water. The doors have handles. It's sparkling clean. There's toilet paper. And the campsite itself is just, well, absolutely perfect in terms of its location, the shade, the tap, just everything perfect. So to the Khwai group, well done, guys, for running a near perfect campsite. There's also a lovely tuck shop here, and yesterday we saw that they've got some Oma rusks. I'm going to go over and buy some right now. Now just remember, you always have to be very careful when you walk around in these campsites. It's completely unfenced, and believe me, the animals do come through, not only during the night, but during the day as well. In fact, last night, we had quite a frightening encounter. We weren't aware of it when it happened, but the trail cam footage shows that last night, just before 1 o'clock, a hippo came into our campsite and literally walked up to Cathan's tent and sniffed it probably from a foot away. So yeah, he's a little bit nervous, but hey, this is why we come here. This is the wild of Botswana. Just be careful. Don't walk around alone at night. Rather drive to the ablution facilities, or make sure you do all your business while it's still light.
The tuck shop was very well stocked with everything from sunlight liquid and tomato sauce to an assortment of biscuits and wine. There was also water and soft drinks for sale, as well as route maps of Moremi and Chobe.
That was very successful. Got some nice Oma rusks for tomorrow morning. Got some crisp for Cathan, and couldn't resist. Buy some chocolate as well. Geez, and I see they've got, what a great variety for a tuck shop in the middle of nowhere. There's firelighters and briquettes if you don't want to use wood. There's cleaning products, there's milk, there's water, alcoholic drinks, soft drinks, and just, well, pretty much anything you would need if you're going to run out here in the middle of nowhere. So, what a great little tuck shop. Time to have a bit of a break, relax a little bit, and then we'll head out again this afternoon. And our plan is to go and explore the area to the north of camp. We haven't been there yet, but we did hear lions roaring in that direction. So fingers crossed that we've got another successful afternoon.
Early the following morning, we spotted something in the road. Wild dogs. Apparently this pack is known as the aquaponics, and true to their name, unfortunately they disappeared into the marsh where we couldn't follow them. Having had excellent cheetah sightings at Third Bridge and now a glimpse of wild dogs, we shifted our focus to bird watching for the rest of the morning.
So I spilled some diesel on my trousers, which is the only pair that I have, so I'm quickly washing that. And speaking about Tom Cruiser, we've done about 3,000 kilometers in it without giving us any trouble, so I'm very, very grateful for that. And I sat back thinking this morning, it's amazing to think we're on day 20 of this overlanding adventure through Botswana. And what amazing things Cathan and I have experienced so far. Geez, if I have to think of the highlights, at Kubu Island, we got up at 2:30 in the morning to photograph the Milky Way. We did that incredible 10-kilometer run on the salt pans, which is something that I'll never ever forget. And that road from Kubu Island to Gweta was just one big adventure. Then we went up to Savuti, and even though game viewing was quite difficult, we had a sighting of a brown hyena before we even got to camp.
Come on, so cool.
And we also had that amazing sighting of the two secretary birds building their nest and displaying. From there we went down to Magoto, a place that I know and love so much, and we had that amazing sighting of the pride of lions with the cubbies and the big male. We camped under the camel thorn trees in the wildest campsite of the whole trip, and we also did that incredible Mokoro trip, which is one of the best ways to see the Okavango Delta. And then of course we came down here to Moremi, a place that I hadn't seen in over 30 years, and I must say I've completely fell in love with. The scenery up at Paradise Pools at Kakanaka was some of the most beautiful of the whole trip so far, and we had that wonderful elephant sighting late afternoon there as well. And the campsite there overlooking the swamps was probably my favorite of the whole trip. And then who can forget the cheetah boys down here at Third Bridge? Probably my favorite area of the whole trip so far. I just love these open plains and the water holes, and I'm already starting to plan my next trip. Now, none of this would have been possible without the main sponsor of the trip, Jim Green Footwear. And the owner, Gareth Crouch, actually reached out to me over 2 years ago, just before my big Kalahari trip, to find out whether or not I'd like to partner with his brand. And I'm so grateful that I did, because my Jim Green Shullies, which is basically a felly, has been my go-to shoe for all these overlanding adventures, because it's just so comfortable and really keeps my feet safe whenever I'm doing anything in these thorny campsites or clambering over rocks and things like that. In fact, this year I brought with my Jim Green Barefoot African Ranger boots for the first time, and that I used at Kubu Island specifically because it was so rocky. And those things are just the lightest, most comfortable boots that I've ever worn. So if you guys are looking for just a shoe brand or a boot brand that you can trust for your overlanding adventures, go and check out the link that I've added at the top of the video description. For now, I'm going to get these pants clean. We're going to start packing up today because we want to leave early tomorrow morning so that we don't arrive in Maun too late. We've got something very special lined up.
Because Tom Cruiser was now fully laden again, I used the Lumio Pro Smart Pump Extreme and Indiflate to pump the tires to 2 bar. And early the next morning we hit the road towards Southgate.
Cathan and I were just talking now on our way out to Southgate. We can't leave Moremi without having seen lions. And he actually called it. He said we'd see them today on our way out. And here we are, with a mating pair, pretty decent light, great view, and a wonderful way to end our time here in Moremi. Oh, bless you.
We left Moremi at about 10:30 and then tackled the corrugations north of Maun one last time.
Oh my goodness, that road is so bumpy, but luckily we've come back here to Island Safari Lodge where we stayed exactly a week ago, just to relax a little bit and to have a shower, and we're already looking forward to another run tomorrow morning. But before we do that, we're going to head into town now to Helicopter Horizons, where we're going to experience the Okavango Delta from above. Thank you so much.
Peter.
Good to meet you, Peter.
How's it going? Peter, good to meet you.
Yeah, we'll go have a look at the flood and then try and find a couple animals, and then we'll be doing a little landing out there as well.
Sounds great.
Sounds
Awesome.
All right. Right, folks. Time to go up.
This time of the year, the area close to town is typically very dry, but because it had rained a lot in the catchment area, the Okavango Delta was pushing up again. Peter actually flew us to the very tip of the incoming floodwater and took us right down so that we could see just how slowly it was inching its way back to Maun. The further away we got from Maun, the wetter it got, and at some stage we dropped down to a remote island to stretch our legs.
Thanks, Peter. That was great, man.
Yeah, of course. Happy to do it.
What do you got there?
Couple beers, couple Coca-Colas.
Sounds good. There we go, folks. We are parked somewhere in the middle of the delta. We saw an elephant and we thought, "Look, that looks like a nice place to land." Some lechwe made way for us, and Peter's kindly putting out some drinks for us as we slowly wait for the sun to set. But yeah, absolutely magical. It's such a nice time of the day to do a helicopter flight because with the sun sitting so low, there's beautiful texture everywhere, not only with the trees, but the paths that the elephants and the other animals walk. So yeah, really nice time of the day to do this.
We do a 2-year contract typically, so all the pilots here are foreign, as there's no rotorcraft authority in Botswana.
It felt surreal standing there with an elephant in the background, reminiscing about the past 3 weeks' adventures and already planning new ones.
Wow, last day in the Delta, folks. Man, it's sad to be leaving, but what a wonderful way to end this adventure. Thank you so much to Helicopter Horizons for bringing us out to this beautiful, beautiful place. If you guys want to experience the Okavango Delta from the air, go and check out Helicopter Horizons. I've added a link in the video description. Time for us to slowly fly back towards Maun, get a last few beautiful shots, and then we'll go and grab something nice to eat in town. For the first time in a while, we'll sit down at a restaurant again. Here we go, time to head back. No, it's been going well there. My pulls have worked at like an absolute charm. So yeah, I'm surviving.
Experiencing the Okavango Delta from the air would not have been possible without my patrons. Generous nature lovers from all over the world that support the Safari Expert YouTube channel with small monthly donations that make these adventures I dream up become a reality. If you're enjoying this series and would love to see me make more like it, please head over to my Patreon page by following the link in the video description. In the next episode, Cathan and I head to one of my favorite places in Botswana, Moremi Game Reserve. Here we witness a water wonderland and make up for our poor leopard luck earlier in the trip. We also find a playful cheetah family and a roaring lion, before ending the best of Botswana trip in the Lala Limpopo sleepout hide.